Okay, according greetings. My name is Nelson Alexander Vargas, and today, along with my partner, Seth Mayer, YANIZA Vargas, and Daniel Moreno, we will share our reflection based on our practical and pedagogical experience in an institution. Okay, today I want to share with you my teaching practical experience carried out this year in the department of Arauca, in the Jose Maria Carbonell educational institution in the Esmeralda district and the municipality of Aruquita. It was very meaningful emotional experience for me because it was my first time where the working face to face as a teacher with children between 10 and 12 years old. All of them with an A1 English level. How about this teaching practical I have come that you understand that being a teacher goes far beyond delivering content and classroom. It is involved observing, uh, reflecting, adapting, and constantly learning from both students, the environment in which education will take place. One of the few lessons from experience is the important understanding a unique way of learning, communicating, interacting with the world. Some students need visual support, others need repetition, and many benefit from collaborative work. Recognizing the difference made them more aware of the responsibility teachers having a creating inclusive strategy that allow everyone participate learning the meaningful. Another important instinct was the role of the teaching model used by the lead teacher in the classroom. By analyzing how the teacher managed the class, delivered content with report, and organized activities, I was able to identify elements that align with what educational author define as effective pedagogy. For example, the balance between structure and flexibility, the use of real-life examples to contextuality topics, and the concerns of the student participation out as practical greatly benefit the learning progress. And this observation helped me strengthen my own institutional approach by seeing theory come their life in real settings. The practicum allow me the identification strategies that were both effective engaging strategies such as group work, the wide questioning, the visualize, and learning by doing what especially successful. These methods not only support comprehension but also encourage students' confidence and autonomy. However, from a reflective standpoint, I can also identify opportunities to improve these strategies. For example, mm, the refining time management, the diversity in participation technique for shy students, or incorporating more technology to support explanation could make learning even more dynamic and accessible. Um, the reflection on the role of a future teacher, I also recognizing the importance of the qualities such as patience, empathy, creativity, and adapt, adapt, adaptability. Sorry. The teacher must be open to constant change and willing to adjust their plans when needed. And they must observe their students closely, listen to their interests, adapt their modes and methods, and ensure the classroom becomes a safe and motivating environment. The intern experience helped me developing my commitment and education. The witness how the students progress, interact and construct many from the activities implement showed me the transformative power of thoughtful. Okay, I now feel me prepared, more aware, and more motivated to continue developing the skills needed to make a positive in the life of my students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. I found your experience very interesting, and I really appreciate the strategies you shared. Some of the ideas you apply in your practice are very valuable, and I will definitely take them into account for my own teaching formation. Okay, in my case, during my teaching practice with fifth grade students aged 9 to 11, I discovered how powerful creativity and contextualization can be in the classroom. I fostered respect and collaboration by setting clear expectations, modeling respectful communication, and encouraging students to listen actively to one another. Games such as charades, riddles, tingo tingo tango, and balloon activities helped create a joyful environment where mistakes were accepted as part learning and teamwork was celebrated. To keep students on task, I relied on structured activities with clear time limits, smooth transitions, and interactive tools like word. Moving around the classroom allowed to monitor participation and redirect attention when necessary. Positive reinforcement, social praise, and recognition of effort motivate students to stay engaged. When disruptions or conflicts appeared, I addressed them calmly, redirect energy into participation, and encourage dialogue to restore harmony. Technology was central to training engagement. Interactive slides with fun stickers capturing attention. Verbal games motivate participation, and songs played on the television reinforcing grammar and vocabulary in a playful way. I evaluate progress through informal assessments, observing response in games, listening to oral contributions, and giving immediate feedback. Peer collaboration also became a form of assessment, and students support one another and clarified doubts. Most students achieved the learning outcomes, especially in using W questions, preference, and prepositions. However, distinguishing between similar how WE questions and mastering preposition was challenging since in the structures require abstract thinking and do not always translate directly into Spanish. I realized the need for more contextualized practice, reinforcement through songs, and visualize to streaming understanding. The synchronous encounters, webinars, epicas, and agora were valuable in connecting theory with practice. They provide professional insights into classroom management, scaffolding, and technology integration. The most impactful aspect was the exchange of ideas and feedback, which I incorporated by designing more interactive, student-centered activity. This experience helped me recognize my strengths, creativity in lesson design, empathy, and the ability to connect with the students through playful and contextualized strategies. At the same time, I identify areas for improvement, such as refining classroom management, balancing explanation and practice time, and developing more structured assessment methods. My future goals include exploring new digital tools, strengthening my language proficiency, and continue to teaching lessons that experience confidence, collaboration, and meaningful learning. Working collaboratively with my peers on the dossier also ensuring my growth. Sharing perspective and strategies taught me that teaching is not an individual journey, but a collective effort where collaboration leads to deeper understanding and more effective outcomes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Janisa. Thank you very much. So, I am Setmaira Gutierrez. I am 23 years old, and I did my internship at San Luis Gonzaga School here in El Carmen de Churí, which is a very small town. And I can say with complete and utter confidence that I had a brilliant time. I had a great time with my students and especially with my tutor, who was a huge help for me. Um, I learned tons of stuff. Now I know better. Now I know what teaching is all about. Uh, and I can say that, well, first of all, I worked with eighth graders. So they are teenagers, as you may imagine. They are, if I am not mistaken, most of them were like 14 years old, 14, I'm sorry, 14-year-olds. And so, yeah, I worked with pretty young people and they are difficult to work with. We all know it. But overall, I could say that it was a nice and pleasant experience because now I know that, for instance, you can't just lecture people. You can lecture, well, especially teenagers, you can lecture them for an hour because they will get bored, they will find it dull and uninspired, they will hate it with a passion. So you can't do that. You have to be more dynamic, you have to make it more engaging. And also, I learned that you can't treat them as your friends. They are not your friends. They are not really close people. You can't joke with them too much. And I say this because I made a joke. I made a joke and then I got in trouble. It was a major issue. Um, the whole town heard about it, and then parents were mad at me. It was really crazy and just out of control, pretty much. And now I know better, like I've been saying. Now I know that you can really make jokes or you can really touch certain subjects like death. I remember one time when I told them, okay, write me an essay about what people may say about you after you die. I got complaints uh, for doing that because again they are pretty young people, so you can't touch those subjects, you know. So yeah, I could say that now I am much more knowledgeable. Now I have experience and I feel more prepared, you could say. And I'm pretty excited for next year um, because I think I'll do it better. Because this time it was it was nice, but I had several issues with my students, with parents. I I had I had to apologize actually to my students which was very, very embarrassing for me because usually I never apologize for anything. That's just the way I am wired. But yeah, I had to do it because I made several mistakes. But yeah, I'm glad I made them and I'm happy. I'm quite blissful. And yeah, that was my experience. Kinda kind of cool. I liked it, but yeah, it was rough. So that's pretty much what I can say about my time. So yeah, go ahead.
Hi, classmates. I'm Daniel, and my practice was in Inbil, and the practice experience and the experience group was interesting. And on the other hand, thirdly, my teaching practice was a meaningful period of growth there. I was able to put my training into practice and understand the real challenges of teaching English. It allowed me to experience classroom dynamics firsthand and recognize the diverse needs of students, inclusion, and appreciate the importance of carefully planning so each sessions had purpose and pedagogical coherence. Yeah, more than an academic requirement, this practice became an opportunity to begin discovering my own identity as a teacher. Is very important. In throughout this practice, I felt that every activity, every piece of feedback, and every interaction with my students in each session and contributed directly to my professional and development. And I learned to give clearer instruction and manage time more effectively and use various resources, TICs, and to support learning. I also realized and the value of scaffolding, differentiation, and constant observation to make better pedagogical decisions. And the guidance of my mentor and their reflective work after each class strengthening my autonomy and my ability to critically analyze my own teaching practice. Yeah. And however, I recognize that there are still aspects. For example, I need to improve pronunciations in sentences, and I want to continue developing stronger classroom management strategies. It's very important in your classroom. Gain more confidence when improvising and unexpected situations, and enrich my activities to further encourage active student participation. I also aim to strengthen my use of digital tools and ability and to design more interactive materials. Um, for example, Kahoot, WordWall. It's funny. I see these challenges not as weaknesses but opportunities. for growth that motivate me to continue my training with dedication and commitment. Yeah, I think for part and my experience and for me it's all. Um, Thanks for all classmates and what's up?